I guess we did. Because living on the inner edge has to do with you, your inner edge, the thing that you want to do but you're scared to do. That's that edge. Think about a person standing on a cliff. It's a cliff, it's the edge. And we're usually taught that that cliff, it's dangerous. You want to back up. But what if what you really want is on the other side? And the cliff is representing the unknown, where you don't know necessarily how to get across, but what you're not going to do is go back. But sometimes we do go back because it's scary. So there is a balance, there is a bit of a yin and a yang and a come and a go. There's that tension that has to do with inner growth. And it is a knife's edge. It's exactly what Tamara was talking about. So today's reading, or this whole month, is based on the book The Inward Journey by Howard Thurman. And I was going to go grab it off my shelf. It's over there. But I do have the excerpt to read to you, so here it is. Fierce indeed is the grip by which we hold on to our lives as our private possession. The struggle to achieve some sense of individuality in the midst of other people and other things is grim. We are always surrounded by persons, forces, and objects which lay siege to us and seek to make of us means to their ends, or at least to their fulfillment. The demand is ever present to distinguish between the self and the not self. There are moments of enthusiasm when, with mounting excitement, we absorb ourselves in something beyond ourselves. But after this happens, we fight at length to get back home. Shout out to Leah's song. We fight at length to get back home, to come again to the familiar place, to be secure in our own boundaries. Again and again, the process repeats itself, wearing down the walls that shut us in. Have we not all been there? I know it. As a 2-year-old, I remember very vividly hiding between my mom's legs in her skirts because somebody was wanting to engage with me in my face, eye to eye, and I'm too young for that. Excuse you, get away from me. I'm going to go hide inside my mother, like literally. But if you look away, if you leave me alone like a cat, I will seek you out. It's the direct looking right at me that freaks me out, and I'll run because I might think you want from me something I'm not willing to give. And then it's going to be a whole, now I got to work for you and make your company great again. And what about me? What about my dreams? As long as you want something directly from me, I'm going to push back. But the minute you leave me alone, here she comes. Hi, did you want a thing? Did you want to talk to me? Turns out that's completely natural. That inner edge, that inner boundary, that knife's edge, is the us, not us, the our thing we want for ourselves versus are we a tool for somebody else to get what they want? And African American descendants, we get it a little deeper than a lot of us. Like we know, we feel it. It's in our bones somehow. It's in our DNA. Somehow it was passed through. That watch yourself not to be used as a tool. Not to be used as a tool. So we've created things, and sometimes I have to say we because I've listened to several people that I know all this week. And there's a not really uttered kind of, we're not surprised, we're disgusted, but maybe now you guys have some compassion. This is what's going on. And nobody talks about it because we already know. But look that's exchanged that goes, girl, and it's And then, so what are you cooking for dinner? Well, for me, I'm having some pork chops. I'm going to put a little sauce on it. We've said so much in those two small exchanges of information, and it is born from not wanting to be used as a tool for someone else's aims and goals. Not on purpose, not today. So what does that have to do with this? Well, it is the thing where you have some dream, we are a part of a community. I know I am, and now I'm talking about all of us, everybody in this room, everybody on this planet. We're all part of each other. We are intertwined, and we are so much each other's brother and each other's sister. There is no us and them. Yet there's a thing in you that you came here to do. I talk about it a lot. I'm not going to go over it again, but you, my dear, are put on this planet for a particular blend of reasons. You have a talent, a skill that's particularly yours, and I hope you do it. I hope you lean into it. Now, sometimes something comes across your desk. It comes across your path, and you have to decide, is that mine or is it not mine? And there are times when you do want it. You need to get in there and help. You need to get in there and pitch in and interact and do what's yours to do. And then come home to yourself. Make sure that you do not get caught up in forever feeding on other people's adoration. If they put you on a pedestal, fight to get off of it. Fight to get off the pedestal, because we all know those who get put on pedestals have much further to fall when they finally come down. So everybody on the same playing field, please. But there's a certain reluctance. You want to be awesome, but you want to be awesome in your way, in your divine design way, not just to be used as a tool to get somebody else's message across, which I think you're hearing the subtext. Sometimes the message is not even what they told you it was. Sometimes you feel like someone who's reading a script and you weren't really in the writer's room when they decided what those words mean, when they're put together that way. But somehow you're delivering somebody else's message and you don't even know you're doing it. None of us want to be unwittingly used for some other purpose. So there is that. There's this boundary. There's an inner edge that says, I'm excited about who I am. I want to come and I want to help. How can I help? And then when people offer you ways to help, pick which is yours to do. Feel no guilt about what is not yours to do. And give as best you can and come home. Come home to who you are. And what does that look like, Shar? So, coming home to who you are from the outside in may look like you have indifference about what's going on in the world. It may look like you're disengaged, nay, head in sand effect. It may look like that from the outside in, for who knows what's going on in anyone's heart. But the Buddhists will teach us, they'll say that there's a contrast between being indifferent, which is, I don't care what happens to you, I'm not you, it's not happening in my neighborhood to my demographic, so I'm just going to go about my day and think about dinner. There's that. That's indifference. It's not, there's no love there, and it's a lot of otherness going on with indifference. But the Buddhists will tell you what you'd rather do is have detachment or non-attachment. Non-attachment leaves us not attached or more interested and involved with the person in front of us, not with their circumstances. The non-attachment means I will love you as you stand in front of me. And even if it's someone who hurt you, like Tamara's meditation, I thank you for showing me where I have yet to grow. I thank you for, it's not about your, I will love you as long as you behave this way. Otherwise, I'm going to be indifferent to you because you refuse to see things the way I see them. That's called a stalemate. And it's a little bit of emotional blackmail. What I'm talking about is where you can look at something, like I mentioned earlier, and Black people, we've had hundreds of years of doing this. We look at it, we see it for what it is, and we're not going to involve ourselves in it. We'll hold you where you are, and we'll hold space for you as you fight to realize what is and what isn't in the world that you've been presented, what is the truth and what is a fiction in the world that you've been living. You'll have some ghosts to present. You'll have to face some ghosts about what they told you was true about you, and then what is actually true about you. What they told you was true about your country, and what's actually true about your country. Turns out it ain't never been what they said it was. But we knew that. Other people are finally realizing, oh, yeah, not everybody gets to have the justice. Not us. Like, just us, but not all of it. Like that. It is what it is. And hold that space for people who are now finally realizing it. And maybe something can happen. It's not indifference. We're going to look away and, no, it's compassionate space holding without jumping in the pool with you. That's what I see it as. And I'm only mentioning all this because I have friends of many different walks who are having many different conversations. And I'm sure they're wondering, how come Charlene's not on the floor wailing with us? And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm trying to explain. In my head, I'm trying to explain it. But then as I listened to a deep Buddhist talk, and I was like, that's what it is. They nailed it. They nailed it. It's not that I don't care. I care deeply. But what I'm not going to do is think that I can take my behavior and fling it around and affect that outside stuff. I cannot do that. My behavior as I fling it around can only affect me and my surroundings. And that is great because then I get to be a beacon of light. Melinda talked about that lighthouse. I get to be that beacon of light that says, all right, are we shifting? Is everybody shifting? Are we now seeing ourselves in a different way? Hold space for it. Don't fight it. Don't try to make it change. Hold space for it. Look at it. Be compassionate, because the presence is what heals. This is what Thomas Howard Thurman is saying. I almost said Thomas Troward, another beast in terms of thinking, but Howard Thurman is like, we hold on to our lives as a private possession, the struggle to achieve some sense of identity in the sea of all these people who want all these things. Where do you fit in? You throw yourself into something amazing and you have fun and you give, but come home to yourself. Make sure you did not move your center of gravity based on someone else's words or someone else's theology, because if you look deeply under their covers, it's not what they said it was. Now, I'm okay with being disappointed. I'm disappointed in myself quite often. And that's fine. It just shows me where I have to grow. But what's really super sad is when I've embraced somebody else's thinking and then got disappointed. When I threw all myself in. I was 19, there I was. Pentecostal church. They said, here are the rules of being a Christian. And they listed all these things that turns out has nothing to do with being a Christian. But they said, you can't do this, you can't wear that, you can't have this, you can't see that, you can't read that, you can't watch that, you can't sing that, and good Lord, you cannot dance. And then maybe you'll get to heaven. And I was just like, well, okay, I guess, but I have questions. Don't ask questions. Okay. And then I watched. I almost sat back and took notes with my glasses on, hair in a bun, just looking. And then I had questions and homeboy couldn't answer them. And then I realized, no, I don't have to do this. I chose to be here and their things aren't lining up. Their math ain't mathin'. And I don't have to choose this for myself. I'm grateful that I knew I didn't have to, because all I had to do was walk away. Other people were born in it, or other people have other things that keep them there. I was so grateful that I had another way to choose my divine spiritual guidance. It didn't have to come from that man sitting on that, in that world. So the idea is here that I'd rather be fully myself and make mistakes that are Charlene shaped than try to fit myself in someone else's hole, my little square peg trying to fit in their round hole, and then not only getting it wrong, but the shape wasn't even me. It's like a double smack. So I learned that at 19. I'm so grateful that I learned that. But I'd rather make my mistakes based on my connection to my divine inspiration. And when I listen to things that I don't have to be told what to pick from, I can pick Buddhism today. I can pick the Bible itself tomorrow. I can pick where that divine idea comes from, and I can just blend it into my spirit, my soul, what it is that I'm here to do. Throw away what doesn't fit, and I make a certain melange of me. And one thing that's consistent throughout all the religions, because I actually had to go to religious school, right? Ministerial school. Shout out to that 4 years of amazement. Listen, one thing that is true in every religion, there is only one thing where you have real power. One sort of place. So think about it. Your life as a timeline. There's the before, That's called the if only. If you look back at your life in the past and you go, if only I had, And then there's the present, which is right now. And then there's the future. What if? Now, a lot of times the what if is all the doom and gloom, and the if only is all the regret and what we didn't get right. Do you know a lot of us don't spend enough time in the right here, right now? And it turns out that's where all the power is. So if you look at every single teaching, and I've studied, I don't know if I've studied all of them, but I've studied a lot of them. Do you know it's always about breath? Every single one of them will talk about breath. What is it about our breath? It's because you cannot breathe air that was here yesterday. You cannot breathe ahead of time for the future. You can only breathe in and out now. Right now, in and out. That is why every teaching seeks to take us from our expectations of what was and what will be to acceptance of what's here right now. You gather back all of your energy as if there were little pieces of confetti that got a little dispersed, and you gather them all back because all your power is right here, right now. That's the first thing I've noticed in all the traditions. Now, the second thing I noticed is this. You can have exactly what you want, because what you want, when it's coming from you. Now, I know we can all watch the TikToks and the social media and we'll think that we want a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. And you may get that too. My point is, if you're attracted to something with your whole being, you really long to do a certain thing, that you were born with. It's like a Leah singing, right? Or a Tamara teaching kids how to do the Frozen play. Like it's baked in to the person. When that is in you, and you're looking at that as a thing that you want, there's a spiritual timing to it that has to do with seeds being planted, soil being nourishing, sun giving light, water giving nourishment. All of that blending together plus some time, and it sprouts forth. And that there's nothing really you could do to speed it up. There's nothing you can do to speed up the clock to get that little bean sprout to sprout faster than a bean should sprout. But we all try. The trick is accepting that I have the ability to do this thing. It's in me and I know it's coming forth. All I must do is focus on it, stay in alignment with it. Alignment is key. And allow. Everything that I've seen has to do with release, surrender, let go, allow. All those words have to do with stop holding on to it so tight because you're going to choke the life out of the thing that you say you want. Even psychology says, what kind of attachment style are you? Are you anxiously attached? Be careful because you're going to run those people away. It's the exact thing you're afraid of, but you hold on so tight. And nobody likes that. Nobody likes to be strangled. Literally, well, healthy people don't like to be strangled. All right. So the thinking, therefore, is this. Maybe alignment is in order for you. Alignment. Because remember, as I've looked around, it was always about breath. You can't go back. You can't go forward. It's right here, right now. Now that you're here now, what are you thinking about? Is it in alignment with what you want? Is it in alignment with what you want? Do you drift sometimes and look at what you don't want and linger a little too long on those news stories? Linger a little too long on the pure outrage of the situation of whatever it is you're looking at? That's valid. Bring the attention back. Just like in meditation. Notice you're doing it. Forgive yourself. That's that edge. Bring yourself back. The way you become who you're meant to be, keep that seed in that soil, keep the conditions just right. You can take your attention, and with your attention, bring the nourishing quality time, quality content, or whatever it is that you're putting in your consciousness. Bring in things that feed who you know you really are. And then allow yourself to Experiment, go out there, help people, be you on a bigger scale, and come on back home and remember who you really are. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Just like the shampoo bottle. Rinse, lather, and repeat. Lather, rinse, repeat. Do it again and again. As we do, we get bigger and bigger, just like a tree grows bigger and bigger over time. And you can see how many growth spurts it has gone through. If you look at the rings inside, these concentric circles of growth that have consistently spread to become this amazing, life-giving, nurturing resource that the world needs right now. I think you're hearing it doesn't happen from the outside in. You cannot find the right pair of shoes to get you there. It's just not built that way. So that's the edge. What edge are we standing on? What are we looking over? Do you see what you're meant to be? And does it feel like you're on the edge and you don't know what to do next? Perfect. That's perfect. Stay on that inner edge. And don't, for me, I'm going to say this to myself as well. Don't judge myself if I get it wrong sometimes. It means I'm trying. It means I'm making an effort. Even those who make mistakes end up making art out of the mistake. Think about the art that I'm gonna sort of hack this word, so I need to look at it. What is the Japanese art where you take the fragments, you put the Tamara's reaching, she's gonna tell me. It's called, yes, that right there. I'm gonna share, put that up, keep that. Right there. Sometimes it is what we survive that gives us our shine. Do you see that bowl?
It's Wabi-Sabi.
Wabi-Sabi, thank you. So the bowl, they put the pieces back together and used gold to seal and heal the fragments.
Because now it has a history.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. So yay, thank you, Tamara. I love it. I'm so glad that you're always at the ready.
Got it.
All right. So with that said, I know it's already time for me to close. I think there was a quote I wanted to leave you with because Ernest Holmes, who is the founder of The Science of Mind, he's the one who went and read a bunch of books by a bunch of people, traveled to India, read a lot. And he kind of synthesized it all so we could take the best of all the different traditions and come up with our own amalgam of higher truth, spirit, ancient wisdom to help teach us as we move along our way. And here from the essential Ernest Holmes, I'll leave you with this. The standards of the human race are always in a state of flux, changing from generation to generation, from day to day, and from individual to individual. But the standards of spirit, well, that's ageless, changeless, unvarying. It is perfection, nothing less. When the level of individual's thinking is divorced from that of the world and raised to that of the spirit, his standard changes from that of imperfection to perfection. And this is the true norm, regardless of his present experience, his or her present experience. Humans have access to perfection for the minutest detail of their life. Perfection at the minutest detail of their life. Spirit could not possibly have any idea which is other than perfection. Spirit itself always has pure perfection in its patterns. And anything less than this implies an imperfect universal source or something opposed to oneness, which cannot be, because a house divided against itself would fall. So he says spirit knows only the perfect and knows nothing of the imperfect. Every step of the great creative activity of spirit has been characterized by perfection. The tiniest organism adheres to a perfect pattern and function according to perfect law. So if it's all perfect in the divine design, then all we have to do is make sure we move back. We move away from our ideas of how it should look and back to the truth, the imprint of perfection that is our base. Because that's where we got it twisted, thinking that we had to be something other than. who we are. So let's go within. Let me check to see if there's any prayer requests. There we go. There's a divine design moving through each and every one of us. I know that because we are here. And everything present is an expression of the one. There's nothing outside of the one because it's the one. Everywhere present, wholly experiencing itself as us. Therefore, anything that we experience that's less than perfection is simply an illusion, which we can let go of and return to the truth of ourselves. Return home to the truth of who we really are. With that knowledge of who we really are, we get more and more strength to provide that example in this world. So I'm so grateful to know that we each get to do this in our own way. I can't wait to see how it unfolds in our lives and as we share them in our beautiful group of souls here. I love that we're able to unfold and just become whoever we're meant to be